We've all been here, right? You really thought you found your person, maybe even your soulmate. Things were amazing. It was full of intimacy, connection, laughter, trips, all of it. And then suddenly it's gone and you're just alone. The phone isn't ringing, the texts aren't coming through. The silence after a breakup is deafening. You start replaying everything in your head. You're trying to figure out, well, what went wrong? How did I get here? And let's be honest, sometimes our first thought is usually, how do I get this person back? Or maybe there's an angrier version that says, well, why did they do this to me? But the real question, the one that actually helps you move forward is, what do I get to learn from this? Because the truth is, this moment, this breakup, it's actually your biggest breakthrough. And how you handle it is essential to your healing. And I'm going to share with you how I turned one of my breakups into something that changed how I handle conflict and love forever. Welcome back. And if you're new here, I'm Brennan. And on this channel, we talk about how to heal, grow, and live a life with real purpose. And today, we're talking about how to regain that purpose when a chapter ends or someone walks out of your life. Let me just be real with you, breakups suck. There's really no way to dress this up. And according to a 2019 Frontiers in Psychology study, romantic rejection activates the same regions in the brain as physical pain. This means the loss of a relationship can activate the brain the same way an injury can. So when you say your heart hurts, it's not just a metaphor. Your brain can actually feel that pain. Our instinct, the gut reaction, is generally to try and get this person back. We think, well, if I can just explain myself one more time, maybe I can fix it. But here's what I've learned. When I've tried to rebuild something that's already broken, it never quite feels the same. The spark just doesn't light as bright. And for me, each time I try to pull together something again and again, it's like the pieces in that relationship kept fading. Things usually end for a reason, and sometimes the healthiest thing you can do is to stop trying to pick back up the past and instead start to understand what this ending is here to teach you. So turning inward is how you actually begin that process. So first is to give yourself permission to grieve. You have to feel it to heal it, period, full stop. People try to skip this step. They distract themselves by drinking, hooking up, focusing on work, anything to avoid sitting in the pain. But as a Harvard health study showed, when you suppress emotions, it actually prolongs emotional recovery. Avoidance doesn't protect you, it traps you. So give yourself space, cry, eat a bunch of pizza, eat some ice cream, sit in that silence, feel the loss. Because you're not just losing a person, you're losing the plans, the ideas, the shared future, and the version of yourself that existed within that relationship and with that person. And you're not weak for grieving, you're human. Just don't get stuck there. Weeks can't go by while you're hiding in your house, not bathing. You need to mourn for a reasonable amount of time, and everybody is different, so understand what that time means for you and how long that is. Next is to take ownership of your part. This one's tough, but it's where the breakthrough actually happens. So ask yourself, how did I show up for this relationship? What was my part in this relationship? See, when I finally looked back on one of my breakups, I saw where I lacked patience, where I got defensive instead of listening. That realization changed everything for me. I realized I was not showing up how I thought I was. And Dr. John Gottman, one of the most respected relationship researchers, found that how couples handle conflict determines long-term success with over 90% accuracy. So be transparently honest. When things got tough, did you meet your partner with empathy or with ego? Did you dismiss their concerns or did you show up to solve them? Were you trying to be right or were you trying to understand them better? And look, I fully understand that every relationship has nuances. It's always a two-way street. But we should always look at how we showed up. Because growth, it doesn't come from blaming. It comes from owning your part and making a conscious effort to do better next time. Next is to rebuild. Decide who you want to be. Breakthroughs happen when you take the pieces of who you were and build someone stronger. If patience was your issue, especially in my case, practice it. For example, in the store, if someone's taking too long, I say, what is this person doing and how can I help? I'm tapping into my empathy muscle. Every moment is your chance to train your emotional muscle. The goal isn't to become perfect. It's to become more aware. The more awareness you have, the more power you have to create healthy love when it comes again. And trust me, it will come again. And the last thing, don't do this alone. Talk to someone, a friend who will keep it real with you, someone you know who has been through this and healed that can give you advice. A therapist who can help you see the patterns that maybe you don't want to see or you can't see. For me, therapy combined with neurofeedback therapy was one of the most healing and transformative things for me to move from the pain of a past breakup. Remember, you follow yourself wherever you go. If you don't do the work on the old pain, it'll just show up into the next relationship wearing a different face. I know people today who are still carrying their fears from a marriage that ended years ago and they're trying to date. Free yourself from that burden. So guys, let me wrap this up. Remember, your ending is just a chapter in what's hopefully a very long and beautiful story. Life gives us people not just to love, but to learn from. So when it all falls apart, don't just ask yourself why it happened. Ask, what's this here to teach me? Because this heartache, it isn't the end, it's the invitation. It's the fire that forges the next version of you, the one who loves smarter, stronger, and is more aware. And that's what a breakthrough really is. So guys, I think that's enough for today. If this helped you out, drop a comment below about what you did that helped you get through a tough breakup. And if you enjoy this type of content, consider subscribing or tapping that like button. I'm Brennan. This is Life Unscripted, Adulting Uncovered. Remember, you do not need perfect love. You just need an honest connection. And like I always say, life is so much better when we stop pretending and we start talking. I will catch you next time. Take care.